Welcome to Lore and Lantern, old tales, new adventures. Here, familiar stories are reimagined, retold, and brought to life in voice and wonder. Tonight's tale is about a well-known historical and religious figure named King Solomon. Some legends say that he possessed a magic ring that allowed him to communicate with and control animals. Ours is one such tale. Are you ready? The lantern's lit, the chapter unfolds, and a tale begins. King Solomon's Ring. Long, long ago, there lived a wise and powerful king named Solomon, who possessed a magical ring that made every creature follow his commands without question. The animals were his most dutiful servants, fulfilling his every request from dawn till dusk. Over time, the king began to take his power for granted. Where he was once very kind and appreciative of everyone in his kingdom, he became rude, stopped listening, stopped saying please and thank you, and no longer appreciated his loyal subjects. The animals grew frustrated with the behavior of King Solomon and decided to hold a meeting to discuss a plan of action. When the sun dipped low and the air cooled, the animals gathered far beyond the palace walls. They came quietly, one by one, paws, hooves, claws, and wings, each their own story of King Solomon's behavior. "We can no longer stand for this lack of respect," announced Lion. "This has gone on far too long and—" "Just yesterday, he stepped on my colony and didn't even apologize," Ant interrupted.
"It's that ring of his," added Turtle. "He knows we have no choice but to obey him."
"I say we melt the ring. Good riddance,"
Camel suggested. All the animals started talking at once.
"He never listens to us, works us to the bone."
Now, Lion quieted the crowd. "It is indeed true that the king is not who he once was, and the ring is to blame. Therefore, we must teach him a lesson."
"And how are we to do that?"
asked Fox. "I'm glad you asked, dear friend, as my plan involves you."
"Me? What can I do?"
"I propose a heist. Tonight, when he is fast asleep, you will sneak into his room and take the ring."
"No way! Why me? Are you trying to get me killed?"
"My dear Fox, you are the most clever and sneaky of us all. If anyone can get the ring, it's you."
"How? He never takes it off his finger."
"We will all be there to help you."
"I'll go with you," squeaked Mouse. "I'm so small and quick, I can slip it from his finger without waking him."
"And I'll be on the lookout,"
added Owl. "Then it's settled. Tonight, Fox, Mouse, and Owl will take the ring," Lion declared.
"Wait,"
Dove cooed.
"Isn't that stealing? Should we be stealing from our king?"
The animals were silent. Perhaps Dove was right, and this would only lead to more trouble. "It is only until he learns his lesson," Lion assured them. "Then we will return it to him, but only when he learns to use such a powerful tool more thoughtfully." The moon had climbed high in the sky when the plan went into motion. Out in the cool night, the desert was still, and the animals gathered outside the palace walls. Lion waited at the entrance. He would stand guard at the far end of the street, ready to growl a warning if trouble came. Camel stood just beyond the gates, ready to carry the ring away if they needed a fast escape. Turtle was inside the palace garden, monitoring the back gate. Owl soared above the palace, watching the guards' movements. When the path was clear, he dipped low, giving the signal. Fox darted forward, hugging the shadows, tail brushing the wall. Following closely, Mouse scurried in and out of cracks, ready for the most delicate part of the job. Inside the king's chamber, moonlight draped the bed in silver. Solomon lay fast asleep, the magical ring sparkling on his finger. Mouse scampered up the carved bedpost and crept quietly over to his hand. But just then, Solomon shifted in his sleep. Fox and Mouse froze, not even daring to take a breath. Dove, perched on the open window, fluttered her wings in a soft, steady rhythm. The same lullaby beat the palace doves cooed in the courtyard every morning. Solomon murmured and drifted deeper into sleep. They sighed with relief. With the king still dreaming, Mouse carefully slipped the ring from his finger, then jumped on Fox's back, and they quietly slipped out. In the courtyard, Owl gave one last signal, and the team melted back into the night, the magic ring safely in tow. The first golden rays of morning crept into the palace, and King Solomon stretched, yawning.
Camel, he called. Fetch some water from the well.
Silence. He tried again, louder.
Camel?
No, thank you. My back is sore.
Solomon frowned and sat up. That's when he noticed his hand. The ring. It was gone. His heart thumped. He searched the bed covers, the floor, the table. Nothing.
Well, no matter. I will simply call the animals to help me search.
He stepped out into the courtyard.
Owl, fly over the city and look for my ring.
Owl blinked down at him from the garden wall.
I'm hunting breakfast.
The king frowned.
Ant, clean up the market square.
Ant stopped mid-step, turned, and said, Sorry, I'm on holiday. All morning it went on like this. Turtle refused to polish the palace tiles. Dove said she was too busy teaching her chicks to fly. Lion lounged under a palm tree and simply rolled over. By midday, the once bustling palace was strangely quiet. Solomon's robes were dusty from sweeping. His arms ached from carrying buckets. For the first time in years, no one jumped to obey his voice. He sat on the palace steps, wiping sweat from his brow and muttering to himself,
Why won't they help me? Perhaps I haven't been the best leader lately.
The thought sat heavy in his chest. He realized he had no idea when he'd last said please or thank you. The more he thought about it, the more he realized he'd been a terrible king. He didn't deserve the ring. Then he had an idea. He ran to the courtyard where he began rubbing Camel's sore back and bringing fresh water from the well. Next, he helped Ant rebuild her colony. Then he gathered soft grass for Dove's nest, fanned Lion while he napped, and even polished Turtle's shell. While the king worked hard serving the animals, they slowly began to gather, whispering amongst themselves. There had clearly been a change of heart in Solomon. At the end of the day, he stood to address them, saying,
My dearest friends, I don't deserve your help or your loyalty. For years you have served me without question, and I have done nothing but take advantage. I hope you can forgive me, and I promise to rule with the utmost kindness from now on.
The animals nodded slowly. Then smiles began to spread across the crowd. Lion emerged to face the king.
It is clear you have had a change of heart. You no longer need the ring to command us and have earned our loyalty.
Fox and Mouse stepped forward, holding the ring as it sparkled in the setting sun. They expected Solomon to eagerly snatch the ring, but he hesitated.
Thank you,
he said as he slowly reached for the ring. But instead of placing it on his finger, he slipped it into a tiny velvet pouch and closed it up tight.
I don't think I need this anymore.
From that night on, King Solomon ruled his kingdom with more kindness and respect than ever before. And they lived happily ever after. The end.